fish heads. I'm about to drive down to the mark. This place is just hairpin bends all the way down, second gear only. It's the most fantastic place. There's all different depths of water there. There's 25 to 50 when you check this out. The Greeks have these little villages in the most unbelievable places. It's a fantastic place. And I think there's fish too. I really do. Oh, look at it, man. You. Get out and have a look. Car shooting off without me. Anyway, so this is it here. Amazing, right? Look at that water. Right. I don't know if you can see how steep this is. It's mental. Absolutely crazy. Right. We'll walk to the mark and we're going to get fishing. First things first, I'd like to give a shout out to Costas Shore Jigging for a bit of encouragement and a gear check from me. And I'll link his details in the description. If you want to see somebody actually catch some fish, he's got it all in there. Mahi, Dentex, amberjacks, you name it, it's all there. And it's a nice overcast day today. And I am feeling lucky. Will Poseidon provide? I think he just might. About time he, you know, I got some tax back. You know what I mean? You've been taxing me really hard, really hard. Or maybe some of the other Greek gods will smile upon me. Zeus and Apollo. Maybe they give me some luck. I've been climbing up and down the cliffs of Kalamata for a month now. And apart from a whole load of bloody exercise, I haven't caught a lot of fish. All I've got is exercise. Well, it's not a bad thing. This place is gorgeous. What a place not to catch fish. You know what I mean? Fantastic. I love it here. It's just outrageously beautiful. So I still haven't found any fish, but it's not for the want of trying. These fish are not that common. It's not like you go down and you catch 6, 7 amberjacks or a bag of groupers or whatever. I mean, I'm sure it happens, but not very often anyway. And if you're not used to the area and you don't know where to fish and you're just going by gut and experience, things can get difficult. If I just get one decent fish for this trip, I will be happy with that. So, oh Jesus. A snake. I'm from Dublin. I don't expect these things. Yeah, and there's a lot of spiders' webs. They have them in Dublin. They have loads of spiders in Dublin. I'm alright with that, as long as none of them are venomous or something. We're nearly at the mark I chose to fish anyway. See what I mean? Look. Absolutely everywhere. It's not that I mind, like I'm afraid of spiders. One of the things is I don't like to break their webs. Did I get away with it? Yes, I did. Good man! Because they work all day at that stuff. Can you imagine that, right? You span something all the way across this and some Egypt from the north side of Dublin comes along and ruins a whole morning's work on you just because he wants to make a YouTube video. What a bumhole! When you see this, I think it's dead. I definitely hope it is dead. That's a centipede. Look at the size of it, man. Oh shit, it's not dead. Apparently the bite off these is just as bad as a snake. So we're nearly at the mark I've chosen to fish. Up me head you go, you know you like it, yeah. Right, how do I get in here? The way I find perches is zoom in on Google Maps and see where you can stand. You'll see what I mean. This is something else that makes this really difficult. If you don't know the area, you can spend a long time looking for a place even just to stand, and you're wandering in and out of these things and you get exhausted, trust me. If you do that too much, maybe you fall and cut yourself. That opening there is what I was looking at. There's a little flat bit, so you have to pick the route in there. In the medieval times, one of the castle defences was something called chevaux de frise, and it was just a load of jagged rocks and pointy things to slow the ground troops down so they break legs and people throw stuff at them, and while they're looking at their feet where they're walking, to get hit with a rock. And I tell you what, not dissimilar to any of this stuff here. In fact, they were probably having a pretty handy day. Pretty handy. So we get in there anyway. Medieval war defences and everything in my way, but you know, you gotta fish, right? You gotta fish. We'll go this way. Where now? We go this way. Now, what do? We go this way. And actually, this stuff isn't even that bad. I've seen much worse. Yes! Yep, this will do nicely. What the hell are they? Rock somethings. Right, so I'll get geared up and talk about the lures and the rods and stuff. Okay, this is one of the jigs I'm going to use today. I'll show you them as I put them on. And it is an 80-gram jig. I think the series is called Betos. The company's called Capelin. They're quite cheap as jigs go. This one here I think is €8.50, 80 gram, and 110 is a tenner. So as jigs go, it's quite cheap. Mostly what you're paying for is the coating on them. They're really nice finish on it and all the rest of it, but in my hands, jigs don't have a very good shelf life, you know what I mean? Or anybody else's for that matter. Cheap is best in my opinion if you're fishing from the shore. If you're fishing from a boat, your tackle loss is going to be a lot less, so you can splash out and you can get those €35 jigs and those €15 jigs, you know what I mean, €20 jigs, but I'm not going to pay more than 10 ever. It's just lunacy if you're fishing from the shore. So this is a knot, it's called a Wanna knot, and it won some prize at some show. It's a collection of 3 knots. I don't know how the guy got away with it, but anyway, he did, and he won some prize or something. Anyway, so the first one is just a double loop around the jigging ring. You never tie onto the jig itself, just onto the assist ring. And then it's a figure of 8, as many loops as you like. I'm just going to use 2. And then you just cinch that all down, wet it, close it down. The last part of the knot is a chain, right? A chain knot. It's just a series of overhand knots, okay? One over, one under, so on. And you have to tighten it under tension. Do it slowly or your line will go weird. That's the one under. And this just stops the knot from cutting itself off. And one more, that will do me. There it is there. The Wanna knot. That's it. So we talk about the rod now. Right, the rod is the Sniper XT. Yes, 50 to 120 grams, PE 2 to 5. And if you're not used to that way of doing it, it's a line dimension for braid, 8-strand braid only. And it's this one can fish 20 to 50 pound line on it. It's got 35 pound 8-strand on it right now. And it's got a 40 pound rubbing leader. That's it. It's not fluoro or anything like that. And the reel is, it's not a twin power, although it has it written on it there, but like, it's a Lure Killer 6000. It's a knockoff, nearly identical to a BG, just the frame and everything else. But it's a great reel. It's cheap. You'll pick one up for €100, kind of a deal. That is cheap for this type of thing. It's a high-speed jig and reel. It's got a 30 kilo drag on it. Stop a bloody bust, this yoke. Anyway, and it's light enough to fish with all day in comparison, right? If you pick up a 6000 that's not a high-speed reel, it's quite light. This thing has got huge gears in it because it'll lift that bait real quick. It's all right. There's 50 meters of water here in front of me, and I'm fishing all the way from 80 to 110 gram jigs, right? And if you're fishing with a reel that's too slow, you won't get the bait moving, and it will just get lodged in rocks, and it won't attract fish or anything else. So it's the same as halibut fishing in deep water. It's just a different type of a jig. That's all. Right, so we got a bait in the water. There's a guy there snaffling up all my Dentex and grouper and down it goes. If it catches Billy, a first cast Ionian monster. Nobody knows. Okay, we're down. It's best to get on these jigs straight away, or you get snagged up like I just have already. Oh, I got a fish. I got a fish. I don't believe it. I got a fish. First cast fish, and it's a good one too. Now he's in a rock. Yes, he's up. Yes, we got him. Can't believe it. At last. It's a decent bloody fish too. Oh, it's taking dragging. God, these things fight. Bloody hell, they pull. I haven't landed them yet though. Stay away from that, please. Whoa. I can feel the line rubbing into the rocks. Yeah, we got the mono. Come on out. Get out, get out. Yes. That's grouper. Bloody hell, they pull hard. Oh, it's not that little either. Ah, yeah. Oh, shit. Bloody hell, they pull. There you go. Nice grouper there. I'm going to keep this fish. I've damaged his gills, so I'm going to keep it. I would say it's about 2 kilos, something like that. So I'm going to keep this fish. Fantastic. Look at it. Anyway, he's got spikes, man. Man, they pull. Holy crap. So, and apparently they taste really good as well. First cast Ionian bloody fish. Yeah! So I'm going to dispatch this guy. He could G me out, all that kind of good stuff. When I came here, I knew how difficult this was going to be. I have been fishing hard. I've been up and down these cliffs, climbing up and down. Today I could walk in, funnily enough, but now I got the fish, you know what I mean? So that's just the way it goes. I have 80, 90 hours of rod time behind me since I arrived here in Greece. And now I get a fish just before I leave. I've had my ass handed to me so many times doing this that I've run out of asks. Yes, there it is. I clipped the tail, I passed the wire through it. I wanted to know about these fish here. How hard do they pull? Harder than I could possibly imagine. The drag on this reel is just insane. And this fish isn't even that big. A big one from the shore, it must be nearly impossible to land. Well, here anyway, I mean, it's got so much stuff it can dive under. I'm going to try and find a rock pool to bleed it out in. So, here's one here behind me. It's gone in the water now to help with the bleeding process. If you'd like to know how I ikijime fish, I'll link that video in the description. It's the same for all fish, except flatfish, and that's done in the video as well. So if you want to see how it's done, check that out. If you need to know about the materials, just find me on Instagram or Messenger and I'll send you a link for what you need. Let's take a look at the jig, right? This is my first ever serious attempt at shore jigging between Sicily and here. In Sicily, I lost so much tackle, and then I came to Greece and I changed the hook setup for slow jig hooks again. In Sicily, I was fishing the fast jig hooks because, you know, it's a fast jig, so, you know, 2 and 2 together, so it should be fished with a fast jig hook, which are heavier and J hooks, whereas slow jig hooks, they turn in like circles and they're much lighter. Slow jigs are usually fished close to the bottom, so the assists are made like this. So the hooks are like this on a slow jig, right? Okay, and they don't foul the sea floor as much, and also the assists are a little bit shorter than normal. Usually I go down to around about the middle of the jig. The less floppy they are, the less holes they fall into, I suppose. So I've gone with this now. That's still that's Kevlar cord there. I've changed the way I make assists slightly. Just got less whipping on it, and they've got shorter. That's what I've picked up since I've been here around the Med fishing. It hasn't been just by myself. I've been rubbing elbows with other jiggers and stuff like that, and just picking up little tips along the way. And that's the way fishing goes. That's how we all learn how to fish anyway. So this is what it's come down to anyway. Fast jigging and slow jigging was created for boat fishing, and shore anglers have adopted it to catch species like this and other. That isn't the pelagic fish, but other pelagic fish like wahoo and all that kind of stuff. Also, when I'm talking about the jigs, I might as well talk about the rod. The reel is pretty rudimentary. I have altered this rod here. I've altered this first guide here on it. Fuji came up with a guide called the KT guide. The guide leans forward at an angle. Anyway, there you go. Right, leans forward like that. And that's to stop the line bunching up on this first stripper guide here and causing crack offs and wing knots and stuff like that. And so instead of replacing it, I just gently bent it forward, just like this. I put one finger down there, one finger like that, and I just pushed forward like that, ever so gentle and very slowly, and that's the result there. And it really helps with wind knots, it really does. If that was flat, the line would just impact that, and it would just like loop around the legs and just cause trouble. Now, because of the way that the eye slants forward, if a loop does go around, it pushes off and it undoes the knot that it makes for itself. You're probably wondering how I keep this fish cool while I'm out here in the sun for all these hours. Well, I use a freezer bag because it fits inside my tackle bag, which goes in my back, and then I have my hands free and all the rest of it. But inside I have 1.5 litres of frozen water, and that goes in beside the fish and keep it cool until I'm ready to clean it just before I go home. And we see what's inside the grouper, if anything at all. Look, there he is in there. Nice big fish. Yeah. Like, this plastic bag's just to stop the freezer bag from getting nasty. Oh my word. Look at it. It's quite a lump. They're very thick. They're very thick indeed. Yes. Yes, 2 kilos, no problem. They're not very long, but they're very deep. So that's one false albacore I've eaten. And now I'm going to eat a grouper. There's bum hole there, is it? Yep. There you go. Doesn't appear to have much to eat anyway. That was probably his breakfast. My jig. Poor devil. Oh, that's tough. Right, doesn't appear to have anything in it at all. Not very much anyway. He's had nothing to eat. Get him a rinse out there. Oh, I wonder what it's going to taste like. The great thing about bleeding the fish and passing the wire through it is they're not all filled with blood and nastiness afterwards, and they just taste fantastic. There's just no comparison. Look at the teeth on them. Oh yeah. Ow, ow, ow. And I don't know if you can see it, but he's got crushing pads and teeth just before his throat, and teeth just in there by his throat as well. So he's got a load of extra teeth as well. And there you go, buddy. Nice and cold. So I'm gonna have a few more casts. So we get another jig in the water, see if we get another fish. Bloody hell. I suppose I have to lose the jig sooner or later. Just the end of the video? I reckon it is. Well, I reckon that's it. Oh shit. Still got the mono. Amazing. The one and not failed. So, I won't have time to edit this video and the cook as well, so I'm just going to do the edit for this video and I'm going to put up cook next week. So I'm Billy. I hope you enjoyed it wherever you are in the world. Remember, I'll see you on the beach. Bye.